All right, there's my thumbnail. Spectacular. I don't blame you for clicking, friendo. I'd click on it too. I still might. Hit that like button, please and thank you. I can use all the help I can get. Vic Clemente takes the first again yesterday. Keeping the illustrious first class of thousandaires pretty exclusive. All right, so I'm gonna go over buying gold today. How I do it and why. It's such a great day to talk about stuff. I'm hodling 4 centenarios here. I've been buying one every 6 months and plan to do so until I have a roll. More on these a little later in the video. So this is how it all started. Silver. The stuff that nothing really rhymes with. Go ahead, go through the whole alphabet. There's nothing. I started stacking eagles back in 2010. One of the assistant managers in the restaurant I worked in back then put me on to them. I was receptive rather quickly because I did collect coins as a child. I knew to look for 1964 and prior quarters and dimes. Did I know what they were really worth back then? No. I just knew they were special. To me, they were the equivalent of foreign coins and dollar bills with red seals and blue seals. I thought they were interesting and worth saving. But I wasn't like a prepper, nor did I understand any type of economic policies. So I wasn't hedging any bets back then. So anyhow, I bought about 5 of these eagles from that manager each week at about 20 bucks a piece. Some of them were in the late teens. He had plenty to sell. It turns out he was loaded. One time, he showed me a box of gold. It had over $100,000 worth in it. Come to think of it, he never really was in a bad mood. Ever. Maybe it's because he had so much gold. I don't know, but I was amazed. Back then, I couldn't hold on to cash. After all, I had lots of drinking to do. And any other way you had to waste cash, I had to do that too. A funny thing happened though. I would waste my cash, but I wouldn't waste my silver. I remember when I had 30 ounces. I was so proud of myself. Back then, I just started watching cable finance channels, and I couldn't understand anything they were talking about. I was just waiting for the silver price to scroll on the bar on the bottom of the television screen. Back then, I was watching cable. That sounds so weird now. I kinda got hooked because silver was about to go into a bull run. I started noticing every day the price was up, $1, $2. My stack was getting more valuable. I started feeling like a winner. By this point, I had already read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I was really excited to have an asset that was going up in value. I was starting to feel like an investor. And it was during that time I became a thousandaire. Now, I had another high-paying job, and I would receive checks for thousands of dollars a couple times each month, but I never kept it. I know, what a waste, right? But when I had the silver, I did. That's right, I kept the silver. And then my car blew up, and I sold my silver for $40 an ounce and bought a used truck with cash. Shortly after, silver would go up just shy of $50. Then I think it dropped to about mid-20s. I bought some more, ended up selling that around 32, I think. But it was for like repairs or something. It wasn't like a strategic sale. And then silver would go down to, I think, almost $13. Gold, which I had none yet, went from $2,000 to $1,100. I started buying fractional gold and silver again. So why did I start buying gold? I mean, after all, from my experience, silver's always made bigger moves. I guess I was intrigued because there was so much value taking up such little space. And I mean, it's gold. I mean, look at these things. They're amazing. To be honest, I see silver and gold kind of as one entity. Gold has lower premiums though, and is more stable usually. It has a much larger market, so it takes a lot to rock the boat. It takes a lot to make the price go up. It takes a lot to make the price go down. These big gold centenario coins in my hand here are beautiful, but the premiums are low. You see, the goal is not to profit, although it can definitely happen. And you can lose too if you're forced to sell while it's down. But the real goal is to maintain your purchasing power. How do I put this simply? You see lately, the price of everything is going up. Well, you see, gold is a thing, and it's scarce. So if everything's going up, theoretically, gold goes up too, because it's a thing. It's so terrible it's explained like that, but that's not actually wrong, I don't think. Oh, and yeah, silver's a thing too. And that's why I buy it, because it's a thing. And when things go up, it should go up too. And the other reason, I don't want to impulsively spend it. So it makes it easier for me to save money. Cheers to you, friendo. All right, so how do I buy it? I do it in a cost-averaging manner. I buy 1.2 ounces of gold every 6 months. And occasionally I'll buy a fractional. But anyhow, by buying it on a schedule, my cost average should maintain my purchasing power. I mean, even if gold trends down for years and years, it should still be maintaining my purchasing power. After all, if gold is a thing and the cost of it is going down, then the cost of other things should go down too. It's not a perfect science, but I think it's pretty sound rationale. I mean, I could have used the word commodity instead of calling things things, but I'm trying to simplify it, which is the opposite of what people usually try to do in finance. Wow, if you're still here, I'm impressed. That means you actually have an attention span. Please, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this thought process, logic, good or bad. Just give me some feedback, would you? And if you're new here and any of this is resonating with you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Treat yourself, friendo, to this wealthy community. The people in the comments below are actually pretty friendly. And in time, you'll begin to understand me even more, to the point where I seem normal to you. Because that's exactly what I am, a normal human being. So how else do I buy gold? I bet you're not expecting this one. I want to say I make sacrifices, but they really don't feel like it. What's the saying? When one door closes, another one opens? Anyhow, I live by a few rules. At least 10% of what I earn gets invested. Chances are your earnings to responsibilities is not a photo finish each week. Think about it. How hard is it to live off 90% of what you earn? You may be saying to yourself, well, I don't make enough as it is. Okay, well, that's a fail. You can save 10%. And you still fail, and you got the 10% saved. Nothing's changed. Like I said, you can live off 90% of what you make. And most likely, you could do even better than that. Paying yourself first with that 10% right away as soon as you get paid. And you do that every time you get paid. And you use that 10% for savings and investing. And the earnings you make from your investments, 10% of those earnings go right back into the pot. And if you don't need or want to spend any of it, put it all back into the investment fund and grow your asset value even faster. For more on that style of saving and investing, with more elaborations on how to allocate your funds, I would suggest that you read The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. The audio version of it's probably still on YouTube for free. Also on that topic, I would recommend Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That's a great book. In fact, I need to read that one again. All right, another rule I live by. I buy my food from the grocery store, not restaurants. Restaurants destroy not only your wealth, but your health. Unless you think vegetable oil is healthy, then have at it. But even then, I would suggest that you make your own vegetable oil food at home, because you can do it much cheaper. You can always come up with convenience excuses. Look, I used to bring a Foreman grill to work at a warehouse so that I could cook steaks for lunch. In fact, it was such a hit, I had to bring 2 Foreman grills to work so I could cook everybody's steaks. My boss would even let me leave early to go buy the meats at the grocery store. The moral of the story is, when there's a will, there's a way. You can get a pretty decent ribeye for $14, $15 today at the grocery store. What are you gonna get at a drive-thru restaurant for that much? Or a sit-down restaurant? Again, it's not only healthier, but it will make you wealthier. That's why I was saying it's not really sacrifice earlier. When I'm eating a grilled steak at work, I'm not like, oh man, I wish I could have gone to the drive-thru, but I'm sacrificing. Another habit I have is I fill a thermos with coffee in the morning and take it with me for the day, instead of stopping off anywhere and buying them. The coffee's better, it's more convenient, I save a lot of cash. Again, I can't really call it a sacrifice. These things, they start off sounding like they're gonna be a sacrifice, but when it plays out, it's actually pretty great. I'm assuming you already did, but if you didn't, can you hit that like button, please? Help me grow, friendo, if you would. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Look, Brian Reekin, I put a vegetable next to my pork chop. Oh, if you wanted to know literally how I buy gold, I go to local coin shops. Google it. You can also check out antique shops and pawn shops. Also, you may want to ask them if they have a Sigma. You can test the coin or the bar on it. And if you're a total noob, beware of deals that are too good to be true, okay? No one's gonna sell you a $50 bill for 40 bucks. Gold has been a recognized money around the world for thousands of years. And it's scarce. It's really scarce and really valuable. So don't expect the people selling it to be fools. And if you can, get good rapport with the dealers, because you may be selling it to them one day. And they might let you drop in and test something on their Sigma machine. I do that once in a while. I throw them a 5. Other than local coin shops, there's plenty of places online you can go. It's not hard to find them. I would buy from a bullion dealer. I don't think I would buy from eBay myself. Although I have bought some silver from eBay, and I tested it on a Sigma at my local coin shop. They let me do it. We got rapport. All right, I've been rambling on long enough. I think we're gonna end it there. That's it. That is it! Thousand Radio, Wicked Chow. This is delicious. I never cook these. I mean, I don't think I want these often, but it's a nice change of pace. Price is right. Huh, it's pretty cheap. All right. Now we're at 10 minutes.